Hi, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tamika and today I am so excited to be doing a collab and doing this video because one, I've been wanting to do this video, which is the darkest romances I have ever read for a long time, and I feel like I finally have a good list. Now, are these books that I'm going to recommend you read? I don't feel like I could have done this without one of my favorite taboo beans in the whole world, which is McKay from Oh Hey It's McKay. I love her so much. I found her channel and I was like, I love her. I need this sweet child to make videos for the rest of her life. I think she's older than me. Not the point. But I love McKay. McKay loves Taboo. McKay read R.I.P. Therefore, we have to do this video together. So I'm excited. I know you know who McKay is, and if you don't, then you need to get yourself over to her channel. It will be linked down in the description. She's also my co-host for the Taboo book club, and we are going to be live next week talking about one of my favorite books in the whole world, First Comes Blood by Lilith Vincent. Anyway, I'm going to get out of the intro and we're going to hop into the darkest romance books I have ever read. Ever. Let's start the video off strong and let's talk about R.I.P. because I kind of have a feeling this is also going to be on McKay's list. R.I.P. is by Charity B. We're also going to talk about The Skeleton King by Charity B in just a second. Actually, we'll do it together. This woman has written some of the most taboo, some of the darkest, some of the most messed up books that I've ever read in my entire life. And these are two books that they are some of the darkest that I've ever read, and these do not fall into the I'm gonna recommend these to you category. This falls into the please do not read these category. Do not fall down the rabbit hole. You don't need to. I promise it's not a good idea, and here's why. The Skeleton King is following a guy who's a necrophiliac, so he likes to have sex with dead bodies. This is also a Nightmare Before Christmas retelling, and our heroine is kidnapped in a way and sexually and physically abused by the person that's supposed to be her father and his assistant. It's a lot. There's so many things in here that I can't even like begin to describe it, but her father is creating human experiments on her and at one point takes her ability to have babies away, so it performs a hysterectomy on her. I'm the person who's like, oh God, do not give me a baby, but also you can't take a woman's choice to get a baby away. The number of like human experiments he performs on her is insane. It's unreal, and it's just a messed up book. Now if you were going into this and you're like, okay, and you're that curious, I mean, I want to see your reaction, but it's gross. We have like literal descriptions of him having sex with corpses. So be warned. R.I.P. is one that I just, please, for the love of God, do not go read this. And Ashley, if you go tell people in the comments that I made you read this, I did not. I avidly said, do not read this book. And then Ashley from Ashley Reads says, cool, so I have to go read the book now? And I'm like, no. This is literally about two siblings, blood siblings, and they have a romance because their family is so messed up. I don't know if they're coming or going, if you want me to be quite honest with you. Literally they're siblings, and the mother is molesting the boy and the sister's in love with the boy, and then they eventually start having sexual relations. The father is raping the mother. Someone is dead in their morgue, and this child, this little girl, decides to cut a piece of him off and feed it to somebody. They're brutally killing people in their basement. It is just the most messed up chain of events that I've ever read in my entire life, and I'm just telling you right now, no, just don't. I promise it's not worth it. You all probably would have expected me to talk about, and also is not like the darkest, but is still pretty high on the dark scale, Vibe by Liza James. In this one, we're following one of the girls who has been in a cult. Her name is Aurora or Aura or Ara. Something like that. I don't know. I keep saying it wrong. And she's been in a cult and she finally escapes. And she goes to a strip club with her boyfriend and she meets Ruby, who is this gorgeous stripper, and they have an immediate connection, and she finger fucks Ara on the floor with her boyfriend in the other room. It gets really messed up because there's a lot of cults in this. A lot of messed up stuff, dubcon, and a lot of like assault on one of the characters by another character, and like a lot of messed up stuff happening within the organization they're in, like within the strip club, and like the boyfriend's not the best either, and a lot of the reveals are just like, oh, that makes sense. But I can't tell you about Vibe without telling you about Hush too, because Hush takes it a step further. And it's like, hey, let's have these two girls be mortal enemies and let them work in the same strip club together. But do you want to know why they're enemies? It's because one of them raped the other one. Yeah, that's what I said. One of them raped the other one. She sexually assaulted her. Is there a reason for why she did it? Yeah. Is it a good reason? I don't think sexually assaulting anyone is a good reason, but okay. No. And again, more cults. More cults, more sexual assault, more everything. It is just a lot. It's dark, it's twisted, it's taboo. I can't tell you anything else. I also want to talk about Malice. This book in particular. Our hero sexually assaults our heroine. Or, let me rephrase that. I think it's more of dubcon in the beginning of the book rather than actual sexual assault. But it's dubious, regardless of what's going on. He ends up taking her and they have a relationship, but is she actually held captive? She kinda is. But the dark part of this is not necessarily how he treats her or, you know, their relationship or the amount of sexual assault that's in the book, which, don't get me wrong, it's a decent amount. What got me and what made this go onto this list is because the main hero is someone who has like dark rooms in his house, and like in particular like dark rooms, like red rooms like you would have on the dark web, where they kill people, they film it and like live stream it, and they get people pay for specific things to happen. So there's like active snuff films happening in this book, and honestly I wanted more of that. I wanted more of the snuff films in the book. I was pissed that there wasn't enough in there. So do I recommend it? Yes. Do I wish there was more of that in the book, like in the beginning, within the romance? Yeah, I do. And I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just letting you know that it's in there. And I'm probably gonna continue the series because I want more of that. It's like a horror lover's dream. Okay? Can we talk about Whispers in the Dark by Letitia Newton? Because, oh my God, this is one of my favorite books I've ever read in my entire life, and I do not shut up about it. This is literally a horror book with an HEA. I met Letitia Newton at a Polycon, and let me just tell you, it was fantastic. I love that woman. I love that woman. She's fantastic. And when I say this book is so messed up, I mean, I literally can't tell you half of the stuff in it, because if I do, I'm going to spoil pieces. But let me just give you the briefest that I can. Essentially, we have a girl, she gets kidnapped. The kidnapper takes her. She's supposed to be a toy for his son. His son shows too much emotion. His father slaps him around a little bit, says, no, you are not gonna get her. Then he rapes his son. Then he goes and rapes her. And then she gets pregnant. She ends up having an abortion, a forced miscarriage. She forces herself to have have a miscarriage. Her best friend beside her dies. Son tries to learn how to skin people alive. So he's skinning animals alive, but his father says that he has to show him that he can do it. He ends up doing it on him, and then his father does it back to him. He kills these people and puts them in his backyard. And that's only the first half of the book. And there's more that I can't tell you. And it's messed up, and I loved it. Serial killers and kidnappers and stalkers and oh my God, it's just like, do you want a horror book? Have you been looking for your new favorite horror movie? Don't even look for a horror movie. Just pick this book up. It's fantastic. This is so dark that I was like, oh shit, am I attracted to this? I'm attracted to this. So me and Jen read this for the Taboo book club. And it was so dark that Jen was like, yeah, I struggled through some parts of this. And I was like, I loved it. And might I add that Jen and I had also read The Skeleton King. So it was a lot. Another book that was a Taboo book club pick, The Wild by Kay Webster. I think y'all can take a little wild guess as to why this is one of the darkest books I've ever read. Are you guessing it's because of the incest? You're right. Are you also guessing it's because the female character or heroine is sexually assaulted? Yes. Is it also because our hero is abusive toward our heroine? Yes. I don't recommend this one either. I have no words for it. I'm gonna give y'all one more. One more, and then I'm done. And listen, this is one I've not finished yet, but I have read enough that I know this is gonna be on the darkest books I've ever read list. Sick Fucks by Tilly Cole. This book is literally about children who are sexually abused by this man at an estate. And one of them is his child. It's his daughter. So these men that she calls her uncles sexually abuse her and her best friend. The guy breaks out, her best friend, and comes back to get her, and they go on a mission to kill them all gruesomely. I think pedophilia is where it starts with the darkest shit I've ever read. I think that's where it got categorized. Like the murder, nah. Serial killer, nah. Pedophilia. That did it. That's where I was like, you know, maybe it falls on the list. So those are the darkest romances I've ever read. I know there's more that I could put on this list that I just didn't. Because if I did that, it would be a very long video, and I honestly didn't want to sit through editing a really long video. So this is what you're getting. If you want more, just let me know. I'll do more in the comments. I'll do more. I'll eventually do another video. Go check out McKay's video. I love her very much. She is literally the cutest, and she loves dark and taboo romance. So she's perfect for you all if you all don't already know who she is. And let's see, what kind of emoji do we really want to put down there right now? How about y'all just put any emoji in the comments that you would associate with a dark romance. I would personally associate a knife, some blood, fire. I have read a book with a fire kink, but it's not on this list. Just leave me, whatever. You can pick one of those. You can pick a new one. I don't care. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye everyone.
Don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun? Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like that.